I'm not saying that I've put off holiday shopping, but the reality is I have put off holiday shopping and now I'm freaking out.
I have never put off holiday shopping this late in the game, so I'm so glad Uncommon Goods has products that I know my family will love.
Uncommon Goods makes holiday shopping stress-free and joyful with thousands of one-of-a-kind gifts that you cannot find anywhere else. Seriously, I've never seen these gifts before.
You'll discover presents that feel meaningful and personal and never feel rushed or last minute.
Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, from moms to dads to kids to teens, from book lovers and sports fans to foodies, mixologists, and gardeners. You are going to find unforgettable gifts that are absolutely out of the ordinary.
I've been trying to make an effort to gift my partner with jewelry every major holiday, and they have some great solid gold selections that I'm really excited to look through. And I might even get the Stellar Light multicolor sapphire bracelet for myself.
I'm obsessed with the Cheese Lovers jam sampler. Surprisingly, it's not for me, but I'm really excited about it because I get to eat it.
Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US by independent artists and small businesses. Every purchase is a chance to choose something remarkable and feel good about where your money goes.
This right here is why I love Uncommon Goods. With every purchase you make, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3.1 million to date.
So don't wait. Make this holiday the year you give something truly unforgettable. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/booktalk.
That's uncommongoods.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We are all out of the ordinary.
Do you ever wish you could show your dog just how obsessed you are with them? You actually can by giving them something to obsess over: their food. Ollie makes fresh, human-grade meals tailored to your pup's unique needs, and their recipes are made with real meat, fruits, and veggies. No fillers, no weird stuff, just the good things your dog deserves. And when your pup eats better, they feel better, so they'll have the energy to live their best life right alongside you. Ollie also offers on-demand health screenings, so you can easily check in with the Ollie Health team and get peace of mind on your dog's well-being. Go to ollie.com/BFF and use code BFF to get 60% off your first box. That's OLLIE.com/BFF. The best food for your best friend.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Hey there, we're Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy, your book besties who take the novels you love seriously. This is Jack.
And I'm Amy, and together we mix smart analysis with fandom fun. So let's get into it.
This is our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks episode, where we read your thoughts and interpretations, as well as discuss Breadcrumbs from chapters 32 through 35 of Sarah J. Maas's third Throne of Glass novel, Heir of Fire.
Before we dive in, don't forget SPILT. Spoilers, perspective and interpretation, language, and themes.
If you would like more information, please go back and listen to the start of Tuesday's episode. And if you want to submit your thoughts for our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks episode in the future, make sure to follow us on Instagram, where we collect listeners' submissions. It's also come to my understanding that someone actually asked us what broomsticks means from our Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, this is dumb. This is very dumb. And that is the fact that Amy and I thought we're like, we need something that sweeps it all together, like puts everything else that just jumps it together, and then bed knobs and broomsticks.
Yeah, it's like Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks is a poor imitation of Bed Knobs and Broomsticks, which is a
1971 classic.
Okay, Disney film.
Yeah.
I didn't know what year. I don't think I've actually ever watched it.
Really?
No.
I don't think I watched it since I was 6.
Anyway, yeah, we couldn't think of a better description for this section.
Here's the problem. When Amy and I think we're clever, there is no going back.
It's true.
When we're like, "Yeah, we're smart."
It also maintains the alliteration of B from Book Talk for Book Talk.
Yeah.
Breadcrumbs and Broomsticks.
Book Talk and book. Yeah, it's, if you guys can come up with a better one, don't tell us because,
We can always change it for Silver Flames.
yeah, that's true.
All right. Starting with Breadcrumbs in chapter 33, when Celaena asks Emerys for stories about Maeve, he describes the ancient Fae queen, quote, and the dark Maeve, whose wildness could not be contained by any single form, which is a clue to her true form as a Valg queen.
Mm-hmm. Also in chapter 33, quote, a warrior, rumor claimed, had stolen her heart with his clever mind and pure soul. But he had died in some long ago war and lost the ring he'd intended for her. And since then, Maeve had cherished her warriors above all others. A twisted version of the truth about Maeve's past lover, who possessed a ring to fight Valg, which Celaena now has.
Although she doesn't know.
Yeah.
But it's so convenient that Emerys tells the story right after Celaena.
That she conveniently finds a ring and is like, I'm going to pocket this.
Actually, it's technically before. This is before she gets the ring.
Yeah.
In chapter 35, Celaena's sword has, quote, a ruby the size of a chicken egg was embedded in the hilt, and despite the age of the scabbard, the blade shone when she whipped it free, as if it had been freshly polished. Something clattered from the scabbard onto the ice, a plain golden ring. She grabbed it, shoving it into her pocket, and ran faster. There's the ring.
I wonder if this book was like a lot less condensed like it is, if she would have added the story of the ring way earlier, because that would have been a fun little thing earlier.
Yeah.
Also in chapter 35, after leaving the mountain with the mysterious sword, Celaena puts the sword in the ground to beat up Rowan while the, quote, ruby in the hilt glowed in a patch of sunlight. A visual connection to the beast that could not stand the sun that they just left behind. A clue it might be its eye.
All question marks.
All question marks. I hope my implied.
Include them in.
Yeah.
Still in chapter 35, Emerys tells a story about the creature under Bald Mountain. Quote, it claimed to have been born in another world, but had slipped into this one when the gods were looking elsewhere. It had preyed upon Fae and humans until a mighty Fae warrior challenged it. And before the warrior was through, he carved one of the creature's eyes out for sport and cursed the beast so that as long as that mountain stood, the creature would be forced to live beneath it. Multiverse stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much multiverse.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this is. And honestly, we probably should have done research. Alas, there's just so much SGM just left a lot to be interpreted.
Yeah.
So we can't confirm certain things.
Yeah.
And lastly, when Celaena realizes that she burned Rowan's arms, she thinks, quote, his pain tolerance must be tremendous. This is alluding to his time when he was tortured.
All right. So we have some broomsticks to read. So we have a backlog of listener thoughts submitted via the form on our website, and they're very long. So, Jack, you will have to tell me if you want to pause along the way to talk about any points. I will read the first one.
Yeah, we might have to take this point by point.
Yeah. So our first email is from Melika. And I think this is specifically about episode 3 of Heir of Fire. This episode was so insightful because I never realized that mirroring of characters can be described in the way you did in this episode. I am taking my bar exam this month, and listening to this podcast during breaks is giving me so much joy. Well, good luck, Melika, because the bar is fucking hard.
I mean, it's now past the point where she will have, by the time this comes out. But, like, I hope you did well.
I hope so, too. Thoughts. I don't know if you would classify this as a breadcrumb, but in chapter 15, Chaol debates asking his father why he is in such a rush to get him to Anielle, but decides he doesn't care. In Kingdom of Ash, we will find out that Lord Westfall knew the king was gathering an army when he bargained with Chaol because he wanted to have Chaol and Doranelle so they could defend the city. I thought it was a nice detail. Oh, no, that's definitely a breadcrumb that I didn't have enough memory of Kingdom of Ash to catch.
No, I will not have memory of it. I think it's a great detail. I also think it's great. It gives his father complexity. It's not
Yeah.
just like he's not a good guy. He's a horrible man who had one good intention. And I love those moments. I love when you get a bad character and you're like, you're not good, but then they do one thing that's somewhat decent and it just makes you think about it a little. I think that's harder than having a good character that does something bad.
I think so too. It makes them very human.
Yeah.
To your point about Sorscha's sexual experience, I think SJM is intentionally using the stereotype Jack mentioned to portray Sorscha. The guard remains Sorscha's only sexual experience because she and Dorian didn't get to sleep together since Sorscha hesitated. It is kind of mirroring what happened to Celaena with Sam, but Sorscha, unlike Aelin, will never get a chance to have a pleasant sexual experience. Other female characters who have little to no experience with sex, including Aelin, Irene, and Alid, are not portrayed like Sorscha. I agree. I think that this is what really makes Sorscha a tragic character. And I think justifies, in my mind, the way that Dorian reacts to her unfortunate death. And honestly makes her memorable because you're just like, oh, there's so much she didn't get to do in her short life.
I forgot that they didn't have sex, Sorscha and Dorian. I forgot about that fact.
They do not have sex.
In theory, I'm not a fan of when women have to die to continue the plot. That was Nehemia. That was a woman of color who died in order to push a character forward.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean I'm not against a really good tragic death. And I think Sorscha, for me, is a really good tragic death. It does progress Dorian, but not in a positive way.
Right.
It regresses Dorian.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in some ways, the same could have been achieved if she had been imprisoned.
Yeah.
But
I love a tragedy.
But the tragedy speaks to the lack of humanity in the king.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it accomplishes more than just Dorian's storyline.
And it makes Dorian's storyline more unhinged, right? Like his reaction is so understandable. It's so tragic. I do like tragic characters. I like it when you see a character, especially when their death is pointless. Like there's something about it that I really enjoy. I think that it's everything about Sorscha is tragic, right? She didn't get to experience love. She didn't get to experience one of the forms that you can express that love with a partner in a sexual way, right? Her one sexual experience was not a pleasant one. Like that is so unfortunate, and it's beyond sex. It's about the connection that she gets to have with people, and she's denied. She doesn't get any of that because she dies. And yeah, I do like a tragic character. I do like a tragic, and I think sometimes the most tragic deaths are the most pointless ones. And I do find there to be a difference between Sorscha's and Nehemia's death, personally.
All right.
I am getting the award for best daughter, niece, cousin in my family because I have surprised everyone with Storyworth this holiday season.
I've used Storyworth with my own father, and it's amazing. It emails a loved one a memory-provoking question that you get to choose as the gifter, and they write a response based on whatever memory comes to mind.
All your loved one needs to do is respond to that email with a story. They can either write a story over email or record it over the phone for Storyworth to transcribe, which, trust me, half my family will be doing. One of my favorite parts is that it even includes photos in color. I love that.
What's great about Storyworth, they've been around a long time. It's been a long time since my father's used it, and they're still innovating. There's so many new features that they've added that make storytelling even easier.
Also, their magic layout and new book designs make the finished books, especially the photos, look even more beautiful.
Customers love Storyworth. They've printed over 1 million books and preserved 35 million family stories since their founding 13 years ago.
They have over 48,000 5-star reviews on Trustpilot, and I trust them.
Give your loved ones a unique keepsake you'll all cherish for years. Storyworth Memoirs.
Right now, save $10 or more during their holiday sale when you go to storyworth.com/booktalk.
That's storyworth.com/booktalk. BOOKTALK to save $10 or more on your order.
Amy, you know how I've been going to the gym now 5 to 6 times a week?
You are in your beast era.
I really am. I now start every day with AG1. And I'm telling you, I feel great.
And now is the time more than ever to be proactive about supporting your health.
Especially when you're traveling over the holidays or, honestly, the most germ-filled moment, large family gatherings. I know my family. It makes me feel more confident knowing that my immune system is getting the daily support it needs.
While everyone else at work has been getting sick, I've been taking my AG1 Next Gen, which contains more vitamins and minerals than ever before and is clinically shown to fill common nutrient gaps. And honestly, I enjoy the taste.
They taste so good. I don't know how they do that. Their flavors include original, citrus, berry, and tropical. What's been your favorite?
I've actually been doing the original pineapple and vanilla flavor.
You know I love citrus. I love their citrus.
AG1 has their best offer ever. If you head to drinkag1.com/booktalk, you'll get the welcome kit, a morning person hat, a bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2, an AG1 flavor sampler, and you'll get to try their new sleep supplement, AGZ, for free, which has been a game changer for my nightly routine.
That's drinkag1.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, for $126 in free gifts for new subscribers.
The holidays throw me off purely because I'm not at work. I lose track of everything.
The number one thing that I lose track of are my nutrients. It is always the first thing to go, which is why I am obsessed with Ritual, especially their essential for women 18 plus.
Their Essential for Women 18 Plus Multi contains 9 key nutrients in 2 delayed release capsules designed for optimal absorption per day, which means it's gentle on the stomach with a minty essence. And quite frankly, I love that minty essence because there's nothing worse than taking a pill that tastes like crap.
Ritual even conducted a university-led clinical trial for their Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin to assess its efficacy. The results? It increased vitamin D levels by 43%, omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks.
I honestly need to get my partner on this. She needs both.
We all need it, which is why we have the perfect code for you today.
Our listeners get early access to their Black Friday sale for 40% off your first month at ritual.com/booktalk.
That's ritual.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, for 40% off your first month. Don't miss out on their best sale this season.
Milka's next point. There are several moments in the series when the prospect of Chaol being in danger is what pushes Dorian over the edge. When he exploded on Sorscha, when the King's Guards fire an arrow at Chaol, and when he breaks Valg possession because he hears Chaol is dead. I love when SJM does these show, don't tell moments. I think that they were true friends from the start, but toxic masculinity got the better of them.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Dorian was a shitty friend in Throne of Glass. He just was.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he doesn't care about Chaol.
Yep.
I think he suffers from not having had intimacy, like love from his parents or from his sibling, and therefore has no concept of how to demonstrate how he cares for someone.
Dorian's never had to be any more level of depth, right? He's never had to want, he's never had to try, he's never had to really apologize. He just gets his way, and he's a product of his circumstances. And part of that is toxic masculinity, part of that's patriarchy, part of that is his heritage, right? There's a lot of things working against Dorian being a good friend. the fact that he eventually gets there is amazing. The fact that Chaol being in danger is amazing. And that's his arc, right? His arc is about being a better friend, about learning that love and what that kind of love can do for someone.
Yeah. And showing up
Mhm.
because of that love.
Yep.
Milika ends with, I really hope you do the rest of this series, not only because you are doing such an amazing job, but because you are going to thrive analyzing Tower of Dawn, because there's so much bathing, hashtag cleansing of sins, and so much eating, hashtag food is power.
One day we'll get to all these things. We're just not going to think beyond 2026 right now.
Yeah, I'm not thinking, honestly, beyond Silver Flames.
I'm not even thinking Silver Flames. Like, every time we mention Silver Flames, I'm just like, who's she?
Yeah.
Never heard of her. I don't know Silver Flames.
Oh, yeah.
Currently, we're recording this on November 16th, and Amy and I mapped out like all the recording we need to do before we go on winter break. And don't worry, of recording, you guys are still going to get episodes because we're about to bust our ass to record as much as possible. And then there kind of came a moment of like, we'll be done recording book club by early January, right? Essentially, like that's kind of,
Probably, yeah.
and then book club's going to go into
Early March.
yeah, so we're gonna have, like, a good chunk of time, so it's kind of, like, surreal thinking that in 2 months, you and I will be in Silver Flames mode, and even during our winter break, we're gonna be listening to Silver Flames, so it is
Yeah.
a very every time we mention Silver Flames, I'm like, "Woo,
Yeah.
let's calm down there."
Our next two notes are both about the reading order of the series. Jack, would you like to read the first one?
No, but I will. I'll be honest. Still from Milika, she's doing great sending us stuff. In this episode, you discussed the reading order for Throne of Glass, and I agree with Amy's point about reading in publication order. I think that people who read The Assassin's Blade first develop an attachment to Sam that we're not supposed to have, in the sense that when The Assassin's Blade is read first, Sam is a love interest, and readers don't know that he's going to die, which makes his death more tragic. Conversely, when it's read in publication order, he is a plot device that pushes Celaena and helps us understand her motivations. Also, if you read it after Heir of Fire, Aelin is finally ready in that moment to reveal her backstory, just as she's ready to cast away the identity of Celaena. I think it ruins the full circle moment in the series, since the series starts with Chaol and Dorian meeting Celaena and ends with them saying goodbye to Aelin. The story begins and ends with the three of them, which I think was really intentional. For this reason, readers who start with The Assassin's Blade might not catch that Chaol and Dorian are protagonists too. There's also a reason why Empire of Storm and Tower of Dawn are separate books and should be read in tandem. SJM actually spoke about this. She debated combining them into one book, but since they're completely different in tone, they don't fit together. She also explained that to do Chaol's story justice, she felt like it needed its own space. So I think that just proves Amy's point that authors are very intentional about the order in which they reveal information to readers. Now that she's saying that, it makes me feel like she learned from Heir of Fire. SJM being like, I can't combine this shit.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. And she probably had the leverage by the time she was writing Tower of Dawn to say, nope, not doing this.
Mm-hmm. I think all of it are good points. Like Sam, I think people who read Assassin's Blade first have issues with Chaol more, but they're totally okay with Rowan because he's like this fey, sexy daddy person, right? And I mean, anyone, you get a brooding hot fey male, like of course people are going to like lean into that more. But I think people who, and someone might be like, no, it's because of
XYZ thing.
Shadow.
Queen of Shadows.
Like the Queen of Shadows. Yeah. The people are like, that's the one that they lose Chaol with. But anyway, I think that it does make it harder to get on board with Chaol post Sam.
Yep. Now, the second email about reading order.
Real fast from Sophie before we go into that. We are not promising shit, guys. All right. This is not me promising a damn thing. When we get to the eventual point where we have the 2 tandem read, I feel like it's going to have to be like we agree it's 1 year and we separate it into chunks. Like we do the tandem read, but like only like a certain amount at a time.
I thought we weren't going to do the tandem read.
Oh, you think we just go completely on its own? I don't think we discussed it.
I think we do it in publication order.
Oh, all right. I'm okay. I am easy to convince. Don't worry. I have no stake in this.
Okay. I have strong feelings about it. And maybe people won't want to listen to Tower of Dawn. But I think the only way to truly appreciate Tower of Dawn is to focus on it.
All right. Convinced. Yeah. Don't worry. I'm not the person you need to convince. It's the listeners.
It's the listeners. That's true.
If you guys have issues, like, you can find her personal account through our account.
I do want to go back to something Milica said, which is that the series very intentionally starts with Dorian and Chaol meeting Celaena, and the series ends with them saying goodbye to Celaena. I think that is a very beautiful, intentional bookend that I do think you lose by starting with the Assassin's Blade.
It makes me sad thinking that she's going to live and they're all going to die.
Yeah, I don't think about it intentionally.
Like, does Dorian live longer?
I don't know.
How long until Manon drops him?
The other thing I like about the Assassin's Blade coming after Heir of Fire is it's Celaena Sardathian's swan song. Like, it's SJM's last opportunity to pay homage to Celaena by finally giving us her backstory. So
that's beautiful.
I think so, too.
Grab a snack, stretch your legs, and listen to this while we plot our next move. My family and I are planning a trip to Portugal next year, which means I need the best walking shoes I can possibly buy. Luckily, I already have them with my Vionic Walk Slim Glide.
I recently upgraded to the Winnie sneakers, and they are perfect and timeless, and I never want to stop wearing them.
They're so freaking cute that I'm not worried about styling my cute vacation outfits because I know every single thing is going to go with them.
I agree. I can go from working straight to an outing in the evening and don't feel the need to change my shoes because they are so stylish.
The reason why I am so excited to be able to tackle this trip to Portugal and all the walking is that Vionic has VioMotion technology, and that's what sets them apart. They began by revolutionizing medical orthotics. Today, they continue to use that science to engineer shoes that leave you feeling energized and confident all day.
Give your feet the pampering that they need by getting Vionic shoes. Use code BOOKTALK at checkout for 15% off your entire order at vionicshoes.com when you log into your account. It's one-time use only, so get every style.
That's code BOOKTALK, BOOKTALK, at checkout for 15% off your entire order at vionicshoes.com.
Vionic Shoes, wearable well-being for your feet. Jack, I haven't told you, I'm hosting a holiday party for the first time ever in my apartment, and there isn't enough sitting room here.
You don't have enough chairs.
That's why I'm going to Wayfair to find that extra seating for my holiday party.
Wayfair has everything you need. It is a one-stop shop. You can get bedding and linen and all the decor that you're going to need, Amy, to make your place look great for this dinner that I now get to find out about.
There's something for every style and every home and every season, no matter your space or your budget.
Wayfair's huge selection makes it so easy to find the perfect gift for everyone on your list.
And they have fast and easy delivery, even on the big stuff.
Get last-minute hosting essentials and gifts for all of your loved ones and decor to celebrate the holidays for way less.
Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
So Sophie has a different opinion, though. Firstly, love the pod, and it's getting me through whilst my book friends hurry up and finish the Throne of Glass series. So I have started your analysis whilst they have been reading. Just finished and listening to your thoughts on the timing of Assassin's Blade. I read it before Heir of Fire And I think it's why that's probably my favorite, because it gave me all the context and then the adventure begins.
People who read Assassin's Blade first really love it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, we'll never know the other side, right? Like, we'll never know what the other side is. I feel like this is spoken like someone who watched episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars and knew that Vader was his father. Like, I couldn't before you get the reveal. I think there's two camps, right? And both camps are going to be defenders of both because you experience it first and you can't imagine it the other way. Where it's like, yeah, I'm sure context would have been great. Like you start to see all the clues before you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
I love a gotcha moment of like, oh my God, I didn't prepare for this.
I think I can understand reading Assassin's Blade before Heir of Fire more than I can understand it reading it before the entire series. And the reason for that is because...
before Heir of Fire, I did not register that. Okay.
Yeah. So after Crown of
Yeah.
Midnight, before Heir of Fire.
Ho-ho! On board. I did not register her email. Continue.
And the reason why I can understand it is because you experience the tragedy of Nehemia in Crown of Midnight. You experience the tragedy of Sam in Assassin's Blade. And then you get to her being depressed in Heir of Fire.
Yeah.
I think that probably does a better job helping us understand why Celaena is as low as she is after what Nehemia has done. I also think it does kind of round out the Aderlin experience of Celaena Sardothien before she becomes Aelin, right? Because by the end of Heir of Fire, she is Aelin.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can appreciate the idea that we're getting all of Celaena Sardothien's time in Aderlin together before she becomes Aelin. So I could understand reading in that order.
All right. Sophie, I'm changing everything now that Amy has explained it correctly that this is before Heir of Fire. I am aggressively on board. This would have absolutely made sense to get her depression from Nehemia. Like the question of how did she get so sad from just 2 weeks? Like I understand sadness, but like this was a spiral. To get that full context of the spiral would have been fantastic. And like what you said, granted, this is a beautiful swan song, but you didn't need it to be that. It could have been the roundup of everything leading up to Heir of Fire, and honestly would have done the character development work, and you probably didn't need all the things that we have issues with, right? Like the feeling like it's all been rushed if we had the establishment of she is miserable.
Exactly. One last thing I'm going to add. Let me just open my Kindle app really fast. For the podcast, I've been reading the 8-book bundle of the series. So I have one Kindle book that is all 8 books combined. And the books are in publication order. That's all I'm going to say. This next email is from Mary M. Longtime listener and love the podcast. Hope you don't mind the essay. Hope you don't mind me reading your essay, Mary. Celaena's drinking is in character as it fits her pattern of self-destructive and avoidant behaviors. Until Heir of Fire, her main coping mechanisms for dealing with her identity and associated trauma and shame have been denial, avoidance, and disassociation. Her assumption of a new identity and how she refuses to think of her parents, her repeated flat refusal to participate in rebellion in any meaningful way, despite Elena and Nehemia's repeated attempts to engage her. I'd also argue that it also drives her preference for Chaol over Dorian. Chaol represents freedom, where she can live as Celaena, and she fantasizes about the two of them running away together. A relationship with Dorian brings duty and responsibility and is too similar to something Aelin might have done and brings too many political eyes who might discover her true identity. Fair point. That is actually a very good point. Because she's very attracted to Dorian.
Yeah, but it would have been brought too many eyes. I do want to point out, I think she said something along the lines of self-destructive nature. Celaena does have a self-destructive nature. Celaena's never used alcohol as a self-destructive nature before. Her tendency for self-destruction has been putting herself in danger. of throwing herself into risky behaviors. Celaena fighting people every night, that made absolute sense.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't have problems with her drinking, guys. Like, I'm okay with it. It just was like, one, using to age her up. Two, now abusing alcohol, not drinking alcohol, is used to age her up. Two, it's like, we haven't really seen that before.
Right. Which we did discuss in episode 5, which hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
So.
But by the time they're listening to this, it has.
Right, exactly. Continuing on, Nehemia's presence as a princess, beloved by her people, fighting the king on behalf of the oppressed, allows Celaena to remain on the sidelines and enables her continued avoidant behavior. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
If Nehemia is fighting, then Celaena doesn't have to and can instead prioritize her own freedom by leaving Aderlin, running away with Chaol, etc.
Yep.
When Nehemia dies, the full weight of that duty, saving her people, falls back on her. She isn't just suffering the death of a friend, it's the death of her dream of freedom. Also an excellent point to explain the depression that she experiences at the start of Heir of Fire. That she's not just mourning Nehemia, she's mourning the fact that Nehemia stole her dream of freedom from her.
Yep.
Even at this point, she is only capable of promising to free Nehemia's people, not take up her birthright. Now in Wendlin, where magic is free and she can feel her own power, she has a bodily reminder of her true identity she's been ignoring. Add to that her cousin as another example of a royal who is also beloved by the people and actively fighting, which is another example of how she doesn't measure up. When denial/avoidance isn't available to her and she is forced to grapple with her identity, the trauma she experienced, her primary emotion is overwhelming shame at avoiding her duty and feeling her people and the deaths she couldn't prevent. In response, she turns to isolating and self-destructive behavior, which, again, agreed. We saw that with her getting in tavern fights at the start of Heir of Fire.
I had a thought, and I'm just going to insert it here because I don't know what makes sense. I understand a little bit more Celaena's absolute spiral because of one of the things we discussed in this week's episode, which is Celaena saying that Celaena is everything Aelin is not.
Mm-hmm.
Aelin was not able to save her parents, which is a lot of guilt that Celaena has, even though she was 8 years old. And Celaena's supposed to be able to save the ones she loved.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And she did not save Nehemia.
So it's even more like, well, what's the point of Celaena if she can't even do one of the biggest and most important things that Aelin couldn't do?
Right. Exactly. Great point. Celaena goes on a suicide run on the anniversary of her parents' death while at Endovier, or isolates herself in Throne of Glass. Oh, these are bullet points, I can tell. She also gruesomely murders Grave after Nehemia's death. Mort calls it dishonorable, and she often refers to herself as a monster, etc. She murders Archer after he calls her a good girl, in part because she's sick of the manipulation, but also because she doesn't see herself that way and takes action to prove it.
And maybe she doesn't have that kink like some of us do.
Right. The whipping she thinks she deserves while with the Valg, drinking and brawling are in keeping with her previously established pattern of self-destructive behaviors, which she engages in when forced to confront her trauma, identity, and shame. All agreed. Although she hasn't been drunk before this point in the series, she probably feels relatively safe for the moment, and the drinking might numb the feeling of the magic, which could also be seen as a form of avoidance and numbing. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Keep up the good work. I look forward to listening every week. So I'm not against the idea of alcohol abuse being a coping mechanism with characters.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because I myself have experienced that, which I discussed last week. I would actually argue the opposite if I was going to make a case for the alcohol abuse when it comes to Celaena at the start of Heir of Fire. I would argue that abusing alcohol is the opposite of safe because she's in a situation where it's hot as balls.
Yeah.
Abusing alcohol and heat stroke don't go well together. It can make her more reckless if she chooses to be more reckless. And honestly, she doesn't know what her tolerance level is because we haven't seen her drink a lot. She could easily poison herself with alcohol poisoning.
Yeah.
I think there are simple fixes the author could have done
Yeah.
to make it more believable for me. It's not that using alcohol abusively is not believable. It's the fact that we've never seen Celaena binge drink once.
I feel like all of Mary's points confirms what we're saying, which is funny because like everything that Mary is pointing out is the destructive, risky behavior, right? Is
Right.
putting herself in danger. Like every single time she's like, yeah, no, that I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Which comes down to Celaena's never been drunk before. Like you're listing all these, this isn't just you, Mary, I apologize, but you know, like you're listing all these things that she's done before to cope, which is dangerous, which is risky, which is putting her life at risk to then do something that she's never done before. And that's like, and like you said, like we can make a case that drinking is dangerous, that, you know, clearly Celaena's never gone to brunch on a hot day, an immediate hangover. It's one of the worst things. I think people should stop day drinking in general. It hurts my head. But it's also, yeah, it's just very much a little tweaks here and there. You know, it could have even been her chugging a glass of wine in Crown of Midnight. You know what I mean? Like it's little
Yeah.
things.
You know, our criticism, and I think this is for all of Heir of Fire, our criticism is from the point of view of writing,
Yes. Not the character.
not the character, not the act. For us, because we are in the middle of writing our own books, we are in the middle of pitching and querying. Like, we have to think very, very, very critically about what character motivations are. Has the author done the job
Mhm.
to really earn the things that are happening on the page? I have two instances where SJM could have made tweaks that would have made all of this totally believable for me.
All right, let's hear it.
In Throne of Glass, on the anniversary of her parents' death, she
Mhm.
could have taken a bottle of wine with her when she isolated herself and just gone binge drinking in the forest.
Yeah.
Crown of Midnight, after Nehemia's death, when she's no longer imprisoned and whatnot, when she goes to Nehemia's grave the first time and Kayla's watching, again, could have had a bottle of wine, could have been drunk. Super simple ways to signal that she resorts to alcohol when she is in a low state
Mhm.
would have made the start of Heir of Fire for me way more believable.
Yeah.
And that's just, you know, something maybe SJM didn't think about.
I have a solution if she didn't think about it, right? I think if you wanted to have this random thing that comes out of nowhere, one of her past memories of her dad should be him chugging a thing of whiskey because he's so upset.
Hmm.
And it would have been her trying to emulate her dad. Like here
Yeah.
she is facing her identity, and we find out later that, you know, maybe he abused alcohol a little bit, but we're trying to make they're her parents so, you know, amazing.
Saintly.
Yeah, that like, you know, we're not going to have that. But I feel like if you had had a memory of somewhere, whether it's Nehemia, her parents, Arabin, someone, and it's her trying to mimic them, because this is a behavior that is learned. This is a
Mhm.
behavior that, you know, we see in society. Like you don't naturally go and if you had never heard of alcohol and you hadn't sought like, you know, sought it out that way. But I think that it's so out of character that we're trying to find ways to make it within character. And like Amy said, from a writer's point of view, which is something we're going through, and you got to kick the tire and the act itself is fine. I do think it ages her up for a reason. It's not no judgment on it happening. We've all been there. Does it make sense for her to have done this because of not because of what she's gone through, but because historically has she done anything similar to this? And the answer to that is no. From Kendra. Idea of an off-season episode. You guys should analyze all the bonus chapters from SJM that you've covered so far. They are canon per SJM and some are so good. I'd love to hear your analysis on Rhys's last name hint, the Azriel love triangle debacle, and pre-Throne of Glass Dorian one. The Crescent City ones might not be too relevant since what they hinted to happen in House of Flame and Shadow, but still cool to see how the small hints affect the story.
I think it's a good idea. There's so many bonus chapters I haven't read.
I know.
I would be into it.
I was like, Dorian has one?
I know. I'm like, what?
I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, one day, right now, because we just finished episode 6 and we have 4 more episodes, because episode 7's the worst one to record, because you're like, I'm almost done. And you're like,
no, we're not.
This is the 4th one. We have 4 more to do. Yeah, that like there's something about episode 7 that's hard. I think because we're there, the idea of like analyzing more hurts my brain.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it's a great idea.
It is a great idea.
Maybe we'll do it for a Patreon one day, and we'll try to drag more of you guys to our Patreon page.
I was also thinking it could be like Thursday content for book club seasons.
Well, I mean, how analysis do they want us to get? Analysis, or can we just be casual?
I would think casual.
Let's totes cash. If we can agree on a casual analysis, I can provide. Just don't make me work too hard.
All right.
Thanks for listening to Book Talk for Book Talk with Jack and Amy. Join us next week as we dive into chapters 36 through 42 of Heir of Fire.
If you're enjoying the show, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps other readers find us. And of course, we'd love to hear what you thought of today's episode. Share your comments through our forum at booktalkforbooktalk.com, and we might feature your feedback in a future mini episode or in a Patreon exclusive episode.
For merch and more ways to support the show, head to booktalkforbooktalk.com. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the handle @BookTalkForBookTalk. And don't forget to join us by subscribing to the Subtext Society Journal.substack.com to get more insights into the romantasy and romance world.
Bye.
Bye. Amy, you know how I've been going to the gym now 5 to 6 times a week.
You are in your beast era.
I really am. I now start every day with AG1. And I'm telling you, I feel great.
And now is the time more than ever to be proactive about supporting your health.
Especially when you're traveling over the holidays, or honestly, the most germ-filled moment, large family gatherings. I know my family. It makes me feel more confident knowing that my immune system is getting the daily support it needs.
While everyone else at work has been getting sick, I've been taking my AG1 Next Gen, which contains more vitamins and minerals than ever before and is clinically shown to fill common nutrient gaps. And honestly, I enjoy the taste.
They taste so good. I don't know how they do that. Their flavors include original, citrus, berry, and tropical. What's been your favorite?
I've actually been doing the original pineapple and vanilla flavor.
You know I love citrus. I love their citrus.
AG1 has their best offer ever. If you head to drinkag1.com/booktalk, you'll get the welcome kit, a morning person hat, a bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2, an AG1 flavor sampler, and you'll get to try their new sleep supplement, AGZ, for free, which has been a game changer for my nightly routine.
That's drinkag1.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, for $126 in free gifts for new subscribers.
The holidays throw me off purely because I'm not at work. I lose track of everything.
The number one thing that I lose track of are my nutrients. It is always the first thing to go, which is why I am obsessed with Ritual, especially their Essential for Women 18 plus.
Their Essential for Women 18 Plus multi contains 9 key nutrients in 2 delayed release capsules designed for optimal absorption per day, which means it's gentle on the stomach with a minty essence. And quite frankly, I love that minty essence because there's nothing worse than taking a pill that tastes like crap.
Ritual even conducted a university-led clinical trial for their Essential for Women 18 Plus multivitamin to assess its efficacy. The results? It increased vitamin D levels by 43%, omega-3 DHA levels by 41% in just 12 weeks.
I honestly need to get my partner on this. She needs both.
We all need it, which is why we have the perfect code for you today.
Our listeners get early access to their Black Friday sale for 40% off your first month at ritual.com/booktalk.
That's ritual.com/booktalk, BOOKTALK, for 40% off your first month. Don't miss out on their best sale this season. I wear glasses every day of the week except weekends, and those become my fun contact days until I'm about to run out, which I am on my last pair of contacts right now. 1-800-CONTACTS has been my go-to for refills with my contacts.
I've known you long enough that you'll go weeks without getting your contacts because of the location. But 1-800-CONTACTS skips the hassle. They offer free and fast shipping on every order.
For over 30 years, 1-800-CONTACTS has been the leader in online contact lens delivery with millions of contacts in stock and award-winning customer service.
They even offer free returns and exchanges, which means you can order confidently. They even offer unbeatable perks like free torn lens replacement. Their best price guarantee means if you find your contacts at a lower price elsewhere, they will beat it. That's a promise you won't find everywhere.
That's seriously why I keep going back to 1-800-CONTACTS. And they have extra discounts for new customers on their site.
Getting contacts doesn't have to be a hassle. Let 1-800-CONTACTS get you the contact lenses you need right now.
Order online at 1-800-CONTACTS.com or download the free 1-800-CONTACTS app today.